In this episode, we're going to talk about screening. Why should I be screened? Is that a hospital procedure? Episode 18, Luke. How are we doing?
Episode 18. Yeah,
18.
great.
Yeah. We're going really well, aren't we?
Wonderful. Yeah. All good. Wonderful.
Alright, so you want to screen me before my first hacker proper lesson. Mm-hmm. You want to give me a screening. Well, what's this screening? Are you going to inject me or something? Or put like rods up me? You know what? Like what is the crack?
Well, it's definitely nothing of what you'd think. So if you think of a screening as like an MOT at the doctor's,
yep.
You're going for a checkup. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
It's nowhere near to that extent. It requires.
So you're not gonna put poles up me.
I could try.
I'd rather you wouldn't.
I can try. I can do a few things with a golf club. Yeah, and
we're going to talk about that. Do we talk about the night out that we had at United?
We can do.
Yeah.
Can talk about how boring the football may have been.
Two good goals though.
Yeah, it was.
You know,
it was a decent 10 minutes.
I enjoyed it. You know, it was interesting to see the crack. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and obviously not talk about golf. Mm-hmm. It was good, but we can talk about that.
Okay, sounds good.
And about the handicap. Let's not talk about that at the minute because that's pretty bad.
We've got to talk about it. So, it's gone up.
It's gone up, yeah.
Yeah? By how much?
Well...
And how many rounds have you played?
I think I played 3. And
you played 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's 2.5. And it's gone up from... Well, we started this season on 22.8, didn't we?
Yes.
It's now...
And your target is 18.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be a struggle. It's gone up to 24.6. Yeah. But to be fair,
I've got no words, mate.
To be fair, I have had a first and a second, so I've probably played about 5 rounds actually, because 2 of those didn't count because it was temporary greens.
Because of non-qualifier.
Yeah, non-qualifiers.
Nightmare.
So the first and the second were both non-qualifiers.
There were prizes in the shop.
Prize
money in the shop.
Prize money. Yeah. No handicap.
Okay.
So, yeah. And on Wednesday, the rain hit us pretty hard, teamed it down, and one of the holes was unplayable. And we all just decided like this is not on.
So NR walk-in handicap definitely goes up.
Yeah. Reason not to NR, to be fair.
It is, handicap will definitely go up, but then again, absolutely. Most people at NR because they're playing terribly, not because it's flooded and they want to walk in. That's not the most common. So NR, and it might save your score if 25 over your handicap. It might help a little bit.
True. That's true. Yeah. But so we were determined last week we need to do something about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The handicap keeps going up and nothing's happening. And what's that? Was it Freud that said if you keep doing the same thing and nothing changes, it's insanity?
Yes.
So
correct.
Pretty much insanity.
Yeah.
So we decided, let's change this.
But it's not just you though, is it?
Well, it's not just me, but let's change this shit up.
Yeah,
let's go for it.
Let's change it up.
Yeah. So made a booking, had a screening.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
And when was that? How long ago was that?
It was just 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago. But the great thing is about it, I want to know why people should have a screening. I'm going to ask you why, and then we'll go into why it has been so good for me.
And it's barely even started for you as well.
It's barely even started.
So why would you have a screening? So just coming from a perspective of a coach.
Yep.
A coach can bring somebody down for a first lesson and observe their golf swing, and you can get a kind of an idea of injuries, of what they might have, tight areas in the body. You can kind of get an idea, but you never really know. They might just swing that way that makes them, it's hard to get to positions you want to get to.
Yeah.
So let's say the first time you go and see a coach, and that coach, you're looking to book a bunch of lessons with them, start with a screening. Because in that screening, I can almost imagine your golf swing before you even play a shot.
Yep.
Because of the screening. So, examples, there was 2 that you failed on.
Yep.
You failed on 2 screening tests.
Yep.
And we relate that to your golf swing. I've already seen your golf swing multiple times.
Yeah. So you had a bit of a head start, but it's the classic of why you shouldn't listen to your playing partners.
And explain that. Go on, explain that.
Well, I'll tell you why. So, in my golf swing, I have a tendency to bob out bob out of it.
So come out of posture and come out of the swing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So from time to time I come out of it. Keep your head down. That's always the thing I hear. Oh, you lifted your head. You lifted your head. But I've learned today, yes, I do lift my head because I'm coming out of the swing, but there's a reason for that. My shoulders are so stiff, aren't they? Correct.
So the two tests that you failed on, one was called the 90-90 test.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's where you you have both of your arms out, parallel to the ground in a 90-degree angle, and whilst you're standing straight and whilst you're in posture of a golf swing of a 7-iron posture, you try and pull your hands back, keeping your elbows in place to try and get your hands to go basically 90 degrees when standing.
Pretty much.
And when you are in posture, you try and get them to go to spine angle. So when you're over in your 7-iron posture, try and get your arms to match 7-iron.
They didn't match, did they?
Spine angle. And they didn't. They were a struggle. They were really tight.
They were really tight.
So you felt a lot of pressure in your shoulders, in the back,
lower shoulder,
your trapezius muscles. There was a lot of tightness there.
Yeah, there was.
Now, common faults. I not only do I know this already, but you can see this just by the textbook of the problems that come from this. So the 90-90 test, if I quickly find it on here. There we go, right, the first one. So straight away, common faults. Restricted movement, which gives you an increased chance of a vertical swing plane. Vertical, so steep. Which most golfers have. You very, very, very rarely see a flat swing plane. It's normally steep. I'm swinging steep on it, but because your shoulders are tight. Now, not only your shoulders tight, why is that?
It's job related, isn't it?
It's job related. It's your arms and shoulders are always forward. They're typing on a computer,
on a laptop or a
driving as well.
Yeah.
When your shoulders are forward, you're not in posture. Your arms get used to that when they tighten up. There's not a lot of movement. So when you swing a golf club, rather than swinging it back, and normally it starts good. People's backswings start well on plane, and then they lift it, and they lift it up to ease the pressure and go steep. So there you go.
Problem one already. Well, not solved, but we have an action plan now.
It's job related. It's not genetic. It's muscle tightness.
It can be treated.
It can be treated. You can see a physio. You can do stretches. And we've seen straight away, just by one test that you failed, the 90-90 test. And if you need to research this on Google, have a look at how it works. If I've not explained it correctly.
Does that affect my speed? Or
No. The second one you failed affects speed.
So the first one, how does that affect my golf swing?
So vertical.
So I come out of sometimes I come out of posture and get it all wrong because of that. Because of the tightness in the shoulders.
When the swing plane is steep and you're swinging the club down, the club becomes at full length very, very quickly. When it's flatter, you don't have to lift away to make room for the club. But when it's really steep, you're jumping back to make room. Therefore, your body slows down. It stops rotating properly. And we tend to top and thin. Sometimes even chunky because we're not moving properly. So you can come out of posture. So as well as that, when you look at something called face plane tilt, I have mentioned that in a previous podcast. It's the lie angle of the club. So let's say I gave you a golf club that was let's say 10 degrees flat, and you hit it, the toe would be so far down on the shot, and the ball would go so far to the right. So basically, when we swing steeper, we're adjusting that lie angle from standard to more. It would make the club flatter. So we bend it more upright to make it more natural. So when you're steeper, you go more upright. When you go flatter, you go more. And you go flatter when you're a flatter swing plane. So so naturally, a face plane tilt. If you use a standard iron and you go steep into the ball, the club face will naturally alter to the right. So we'll fade, we'll slice naturally from a steep golf swing. Really, really flat, going the other way. We'll hit it way left and we'll hook it. For a right-handed golfer, that is.
So there we go. So that's why I fade and slice.
So you steep, fade, slice. We can see you're jumping back out of posture because you can't rotate properly.
The shoulders
the swing plane. It's hard to get through the golf ball. Another one here. Now, I've not videoed your golf swing to check this. We've not actually seen it, but there's one that indicates that you chicken wing through the golf swing.
Okay.
So that basically happens because you're not rotating through freely because it's harder. Your arm bends to compensate for it.
Yeah.
So you might get a chicken wing because of that. Now all these things here, they're because it's likely because of how tight your back is.
Yeah.
But then not only that, you might get very used to swinging that way. And then let's say you loosen all your back up, you might still carry on.
Yeah.
It's then readjusting to where we want you to be, and now you physically can do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And like loss of like synchronization, connection.
Yeah.
So like your arms might fly down, your body stops.
Yeah.
Rather than working together.
Yeah.
There's that's just one test.
Okay. And then the second test I failed on.
The second one you failed on, right. Now this is it's a good one. This is all about club head speed and striking. Yeah. Club head speed. Now for someone like myself who's not a big guy, I've got no muscles on me, but I hit it pretty long.
Yeah.
And this is what I do pretty well on this area. Luckily, Now it's disassociation.
Yeah.
Of the hips and torso.
Yeah.
So you always want them working against each other.
Yeah.
The hips are always leading and the chest is facing more forward when at impact. So the more you stretch and more you twist on your spine, your hips and your torso, the more X factor stretch. That's a scientific term from the PGA, but the X factor stretch, the more of that you can get, the more leverage and coil that's available to whip into that golf ball.
So what do I obviously my hips and torso aren't moving correctly.
They're not separated. So you imagine let's say somebody who's got like a fused spine all the way down, and their hips and torso will not separate. They just joint together like a robot. You imagine that person swinging back and swinging through. There's no speed there. There's no lag. There's no whip available. Exactly. We can try and whip with our wrists and our arm. We can try and whip that way. That gets a bit of extra power. But the body gives it everything. You look at McIlroy, how much hip rotation does that guy have over his torso?
Loads.
Horrendous strain. Again, on a previous podcast, I mentioned about Tiger Woods at age 16. Hips are facing the target whilst his chest is still covering it. So the twist in his spine, that's why his backs are bad. It's because of this reason. It's called X factor stretch for significant power.
How does somebody like me improve that then? How do you improve that movement?
So you did find it quite difficult. Now, there was one test where you couldn't actually do the movement. We're not sure if you failed or passed it because you couldn't actually do the movement. Now, whether that's similar, because it's quite tough for you to do, it can be hard to try and separate in the test. Now, we'd have to see. But that, again, would be stretches, and that would be strength building as well. So it'd be to the gym, and it would be definitely stretches. The first fail you did is definitely stretches. You could try and strengthen your back up, but it is definitely...
definitely stretches.
Get it loosened up first, then you can start building.
Something like yoga or a physio.
A physio. If you go and see them and say, I've got a really tight upper back and neck and shoulders, they'll feel that and tell you straight away what to do. If that helps ease up, you can start swinging nice and better on plane. And that will start improving, hopefully, pretty... Well, it takes a bit of time to get into that position, but
And what about like the other, like it wasn't just two things that we did in the screening. It basically it looks at how your body moves, doesn't it?
So I can just go over the list now of what we've done. So the first test is the one where you couldn't do it properly. The first one you couldn't do, so it was inconclusive. But it's the tilt of your spine. It's posterior, anterior, and neutral. You try and basically stick your bum back and get an arch in your back, and then you go the other way and arch like a C shape, where you go like an old man kind of posture, where your shoulders really forward. You try and do both of those. And what's the quality of your movement? They got one called smooth, one that's just normal, and one that's called shake and bake. I'm shake and bake.
Yeah, you are.
So as you move your hips back and forward, you shake a little bit if your glutes and your core isn't strong enough. Now, I've always thought my core was pretty strong, but it isn't. I shake and bake.
Yeah, you do.
Witnessed. So then the second one, simple toe touch. Now toe touch, that's about your hamstrings. The tighter they are, the more you might jump out of your posture during the swing. That's the main thing, posture for hamstrings.
That's pretty good at that one, to be fair.
You were good at that one. You were nearly at your toes. Now, I'm horrific on that one. Now, but I can tell you my screening results as well and tell you what happens there. But the next one was hip flexors. So you were good on that. Your hips were good on the flexors. So no problem there.
That's then, dancing.
Then we did... well, they do say the golf swing's like a dance.
Well, there you go.
They do say that.
I know. Need to bring back the Irish dancing. Get the golf swing improved.
The next one's overhead deep squat.